Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to go through the process of building plugins with PluginBuilder and TouchDesigner. So I've created a TOE file for this demonstration. It's just an empty file inside of a folder previously created. I'm also going to open Visual Studio Code in that folder. So any files that get created in the folder I'll be able to edit in Visual Code. Next I'm going to drag PluginBuilder into the network. I have it in the palette already, but you can drag it from disk. And I'm going to give our plugin a name, Demo Chop. I'm going to select a template. I'm going to select the basic chop template, but there's templates for each of the types, at least one template for each of the types here. They're basically the C++ example projects in the derivative folder. And I'm going to press Create Plugin. And so now you can see that we have some data being viewed inside the viewer and a channel being created inside of the C++ operator because we've just built a project, compiled the project, and loaded the compiled DLL in a C++ operator. So that happens pretty quickly. Most projects build pretty fast. Compiling is actually quite a bit faster than building the projects or creating a project. It's the slowest step. So yeah, that's pretty much it to making a plugin in TouchDesigner without actually doing anything to edit that plugin or doing anything specific. But everything's been created. A project's been created. Classes have been created with the same name. I'll go through the folders and whatnot. But now that we have it created, you can start editing the project and rebuilding and recompiling it. So inside of our demo folder, where the TouchDesigner project is located, we have two new folders. One's called Plugin Projects and one's called Plugins. Inside of Plugin Projects is the project folders for each of the plugins we make in this TOE. And in this case, we have one project. It's called Demo TOE. And inside of that, Demo Chop, excuse me. And inside of Demo Chop, we have a subfolder called Build, another subfolder called Source, and a cmakelist.txt. Cmakelist.txt is our CMake file that determines all our CMake project settings. So you can change this. You can include different folders. You can include different packages, add different libraries and whatnot. If you add more source to your source folder, you don't have to do anything here except regenerate the CMake project. So you basically just press Build Plugin if you add any more files to your source. And inside of source, since I'm talking about source, we have two source files for this demo that were automatically created. One's demochop.h, another's demochop.cpp. And inside of those is the class that is making this plugin. This class is defined in the header file, and then the functions are defined in the source file. And now that we have this open, I could simply, since I have compile and update on, I can simply edit some code, save the file, and it will recompile. And our updates have changed. So our updates are visible in our DLL, in our loaded DLL. So that's all you have to do to basically make changes. You may not want to work like this. There's a good chance you won't want to work like this in a lot of cases. It can be dangerous to work like that as well. So you have the option of turning compile and update off and making changes on one file or multiple files, saving those files, reviewing your changes, visually making sure everything is correct, and then manually compiling. So you have that option to work both ways. And then, yeah, that's about it for editing your source code. You can do that. You're pretty much ready to go. That's it. You can have different build configs, release, debug, release with debug info. You can install the plugin to the global plugins directory and documents/derivatives/plugins. If you press that button. Also, at this moment, I haven't talked about the plugins folder. At this moment, we're actually reading the DLL not from the build folder, but from the plugins folder. So this plugins folder is the structure derivative has come up with. So if I were to reload Touch right now, we would see in the op crate dialog this demo chop appear in this list. So, but I have to reload Touch for that to happen because it's in this plugins folder for this project. For you to see that demo chop plugin in all TouchDesigner projects, you have to install the plugin with the either manually by copying the DLL to the plugins folder, global plugins folder, or pressing this button. But that's pretty much all you have to do to make a simple project. If you want, I'll go through some more things, but that's all you need to do to get going right now if you want to stop the video now. But next I'll just create some more plugins of each of the different types and talk about Cuda a little bit and Visual Studio itself. So I'm going to create a new plugin component here. I'm going to call this demo dat. And I'm going to select the basic dat template, and I'm going to select create plugin. And now it's created a new plugin and loaded the new plugin. And you can see inside of plugin projects, we have a new folder called demo dat. Inside demo dat, we have source and build and make list.txt. And we could edit that source if we wanted to. And things will be updated. So that's that one. And we could also make a SOP, right here. Simple shape SOP, call that demo SOP, create plugin. There we go. So now we have a SOP plugin created, and you can edit that source here as well. In the source file, you can see the project has been created there. And then I'm going to make a top. First, I'll make the CPU memory top, and I'm going to call it demo top. Create that there. Press create, I should say. And you can see that that's been compiled and created, and you can see demo top there, the project demo top. And then finally, I'm going to create a Cuda top, demo Cuda, and I'm going to select Cuda top. Of course, to make a Cuda top, you need to have installed Cuda Toolkit. It's in the installation instructions. It's an optional requirement. You don't have, it's not technically a requirement, it's optional. If you want to compile Cuda, you have to install it. And there's instructions there. If you have any problems with installing, I'm not going to go through installing PluginBuilder in this video. Keep it short, but everything's pretty straightforward here. But if you do have problems, please let me know on Discord or the derivative forum, and I'll help work through that stuff to get things working. So, but yeah, so I haven't created the demo Cuda top yet, but I'm going to create it now. Cuda is the slowest to build. It does take a couple of seconds. Oh, and I forgot to create an input. I meant to create an input on that. I'll create one manually. But we can see in a second that this will be built. But yeah, Cuda is the slowest to build. The initial build is a little slow, takes 5 or 10 seconds or whatever. But compiling is pretty fast. The C++ side is just as fast as anything else. The kernel side is a little slower. So you definitely want to, it's just the way it is. It's just a bit slower. It's not super slow, but Cuda just takes a while. It's just the nature of it. But on this guy, I'm going to create a movie file in. And we can see we're just copying the input to the output for this operator. That's all that this plugin does when you connect a texture. And we can see inside the source now of the demo Cuda project, we have a kernel. And in that kernel in that kernel file, there's a bunch of different kernels here, but I know that it's using this particular kernel, which is copying RGB 8-bit textures, which this is. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to swap components, the red and the blue channels. So I'm just going to go uint 8t temp equals color.x equals color.z, and color.z equals temp. Hit save. And it's about 2, 3, maybe 4 seconds or something to compile a kernel, which is unfortunate. It's a little slower, but technically, depending on the GLSL you're working with, the version of Touch, it's probably not any slower than that. And if you're printing to the console or not, so that's something also with GLSL. But anyways, yeah, we just added a kernel, and we can go back, swap those channels back, and it will reload in a second. And that's about it. There we go. So that's done. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. You can reload projects. Here, I'm going to delete this guy. If for some reason you deleted a component, you can reload a project. I already know the name, so I don't have to do that. But it's a little bit of a manual process because I don't have a file dialog here. But if you know the name of your project and it's in the right folder structure, in this case demo chop, you can simply type in the name here, and it will load that project. So if you for some reason don't save your tow and you lose PluginBuilder, you won't lose your project and you can reload it again. If you have any questions, you have any issues, please let me know on Discord or in the derivative forum. Happy to help, especially with the installation process, or with bugs if you find anything that causes any major issues. And I'm definitely interested to hear how things go. Great. Well, thank you.